Malolele. My name is Roy Tongalava. I am a master's student at the Goldman School of Public Policy.
I'm Nadia Almasafi, and I'm a PhD candidate in the Department of Sociology at UC Berkeley.
I'm Jamie. I'm a first-year Master's of City Planning student at UC Berkeley's College of Environmental Design.
Hi, my name is Ramisha Yanaki. I am a junior studying Media Studies and Economy and Society.
AAPI Data got going after a call from a journalist, and he wanted to do a story about Vietnamese Americans in Orange County. So I had a great half-hour conversation with this reporter, and then he just wanted some basic numbers. So that's when I realized that there is value of making data on our communities more accessible. The DNA, the Data Narrative Action Framework, is something that I developed at the Center for Social Innovation. And one of the ways we distinguished ourselves is to develop frameworks to encourage more policy innovation and more social innovation, more social impact.
I'm a son of immigrants. My parents immigrated from the South Pacific Islands from a country called Tonga, and my mother was actually born in American Samoa. And they immigrated here to the Los Angeles area where I was born. Data is arguably one of the biggest technology that we have today. I think data, for a lot of us and for a lot of reasons, are how we are able to tell our stories, of how we are able to make sense of communities and their lived experiences.
I'm Lauren. I'm a third year studying data science at UC Berkeley, specifically with an emphasis in social policy and law. For AAPI Data, I'm developing a pipeline that transforms raw survey data into ready-to-use, very polished, presentable data visualizations that can go straight onto a website or onto a report.
AAPI communities are one of the fastest growing blocks of the American population, but they're also one of the most diverse blocks of the population. That label covers so many diverse experiences, national origins, and statuses within the United States. So it's really important to me to have data-backed insights about the diversity within that community.
I'm originally from the Bay Area, North Bay specifically. Growing up was a tough time. I struggled a lot with my identity in high school, in middle school, elementary school. Growing up, I didn't really feel a sense of community with NHPIs, but it wasn't until I went to college where I actually found community with other NHPIs.
I'm Michael. I'm a fourth-year international student studying film and media and journalism at UC Berkeley. At AAPI Data, I work as a communication intern. People don't usually understand how powerful data is. Storytelling, they're a catalyst in the process to make people really understand the impact, if not beneficial, to the community.
I was born in Japan to a Japanese mother and a Chinese father, so I grew up with a lot of different multicultural influences. We moved to the US when I was 5, and I've grown up in Indiana ever since. At AAPI Data, I just finished a website optimization. So basically anything that AAPI Data has posted on its website for the past 10 or more years. I went through all of them and tagged them based off of their what populations they cover, geographic regions they cover, and I tagged every single one of them. It's going to help optimize the website so that people can go do a deeper dive into specific subjects.
So I grew up in New York City and I went to Brandeis University for 2 years, and I transferred to UC Berkeley for my undergrad and graduated with a bachelor's in political science and Asian American studies. And then I worked for a couple of years, primarily at the Chinatown Community Development Center in San Francisco. I've mostly been working on our state level policy. So I'll help do scans of our policy database that has state level policy data from all 50 states, from primarily AAPI legislators. So I'm working on cleaning up that database and adding more legislation to it.
I'm Chloe Renkasilag. I'm from LA, and currently I'm a second year at UC Berkeley, and I'm double majoring in English and media studies with a concentration on media law and policy. I think data on AAPI communities is so important because I want to make sure that everyone has a rightful voice, because I feel that in the past AAPI data voices are really marginalized and they don't get as much spotlight as comparison to other communities.
I'm Danica. I'm a third year economics major here at UC Berkeley. Research on API communities are so important because historically and over time, API communities have been left out of very important discussions, everything from diversity, equity, inclusions, mental health, climate change, when these are people that are being affected and are very important players in these discussions.
For me, the research that I do is deeply personal, and I'm really proud of the work that our graduate student researchers are doing to connect the dots, especially when it comes to understanding the extent to which our communities are or are not being covered by news stories.
So I think data is a tangible tool we can use to sort of create and better the future that we want to see.
These are the times we live in. The standard playbook isn't going to cut it anymore, and I'm just really excited to be able to do this with our communities and for them.